you can turn to page 8 tonight at 9 p.m. on BBC Two and BBC HD. But now, in the kitchen, we have Mr. Joe McElderry, who tells me his cooking is pretty bad.
I never, ever cook. I like bacon. I like, you know, cakes and things like that. And...
Oh, I thought you said you like bacon.
No. No, I like bacon
that.
cakes.
That's good.
It's me accent.
I was going to say, oh, OK, what, bacon
Random,
sandwiches?
but OK,
yeah. Baking, got you, got you. OK, yeah, that's good.
But any other cooking is a bit of a nightmare.
Well, this is kind of... it's relatively straightforward. I would say, though, as someone who's never cooked before, the downside is kind of making the sauce. We're going to do a smoked haddock gratin. So the sauce is butter, flour, bit of celery salt, bit of Dijon mustard, bit of paprika, a bit of cayenne pepper, rather. Then we've got parmesan, we've got some cheddar, we've got some cream. There's some milk bubbling away on the stove there. We've poached our smoked haddock in some milk. The reason that you poach it in milk is it takes away a little bit of the saltiness and a little bit of the overt smokiness as well.
So you just put it in a pan with milk and boil it.
Basically, you bring the milk up to a boil, turn it right the way down so it's just simmering, then put the fish in, take it off the heat, leave it for 6 minutes, that's it.
So would you expect people to know that?
No, I've just told them.
I'm just checking. I'm just checking that I should not have really known that.
No, it isn't. But the reason that you do it, I mean, if you don't want to do that, it doesn't really affect you. You could actually just kind of put this in the gratin and bake it, and it would be fine. What happens is, though, it can sometimes be a little bit smoky, a little bit salty. So the reason we do it is to remove some of that, but it's not essential. OK, then we've also got potatoes that we've cooked, spinach, and then we're doing a crumbly top, which is hazelnuts, some breadcrumbs, some butter, and some tarragon. So first things first, you can relax for a moment, Joe. We make the sauce, which is simply melting some butter in a pan. Now, I'm going to do this way too fast. When you go home, Joe, with your newfound talent for cooking today, then just slow this down. So it's like it's a gentle heat, whereas I'm ranking this up so that we get really, really quickly through it. And you want to melt this gently. Once we melt it gently, then we add the flour, then we add the other bits and cook them.
We're making the sauce.
Go for it.
Right, yeah, because I want to do a quick email from Amy. Joe, would you ever consider being an X Factor judge?
Well, yeah, I would actually. It would be good fun.
Would you be able to be hard though? Because you know what it's like to be up there.
That's the only problem I was just going to say, because obviously I know how that. When I watch it now, I feel the pain. I'm like.
I actually cry, Joe. Simon, I cry when someone gets through and they cry. I found myself crying last night on the sofa.
Which one did you cry over? Who did you cry over?
I cried at the girl that sung "Respect."
She was good, wasn't she?
And she was just so happy. I just thought, oh, it's
you know,
brilliant.
you know that day is so like built up as well. You get there at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and you're waiting all day, you know, and you're doing interviews, and it's just the anxiety before you even step on the stage, and then you get on there, and it's just like everything's heightened. I think, you know, because you know that there's cameras, there's an audience, there's like big stars in front of you. So when I watch it now, it just brings back memories, and I'm like,
I bet.
But I would be sympathetic, so I think I probably would be okay at it.
Yeah.
You know, I would be realistic but sympathetic.
And now with your classical training.
Yeah, exactly.
Now basically, so we've got the flour, we've got the butter, all the spices. We've cooked those together. Then we gradually add the milk. And again, I'm doing this way too quickly for what we need to do. Right. Add it gradually. Once it starts to bubble, add a little bit more milk.
Is it ruined that we're doing it so quick?
Well, it will be all right.
You're such an expert.
The only danger is with it, if you do it this quickly, is one is because I'm working this so hard. You stretch the flour so it could become a little bit gloopy, and also you don't cook the flour out enough so it can taste a little bit floury.
Yeah.
That's why you cook it slowly. Once that's all done, we then simply add the cream and the parmesan and the cheese, and we stir all of that together. OK, so, Joe, while I stir that together, what you need to do...
You've got a job.
Slice those potatoes. In fact, we can get away with just cut them all in half and then layer them up in that in the dish there.
Would you like me to help?
You'd be right, Lou. I mean, if you want, you could kind of start flaking fish, but we're all right. We're not too bad on time at the moment, surprisingly.
Just if you need me, Simon, shout.
I always need you.
All of them?
All of them, yeah. So when you did your audition, Joe, was it in front of a live audience? Or
we were the first year.
Yeah.
We were the first year where it was, and my audition day was the actual first day, so it was kind of like a...
Did you all get on, like, instantly? Actually, I've changed my question.
OK.
So I want to ask. You know, instantly, when you saw people get up on stage, did you think you're going to get through, you're going to be...
Well, you see, you kept away from that room, so you don't know... You don't know who's going on.
Really?
No, you don't. Because you're in another room doing, like, interview... You know them VTs that you see?
Yeah.
You're doing all of that, so you don't see all of the...
So you don't get to see
No, you don't. It's not until you get to boot camp, and then you have to sit and watch everybody. And that's when everybody's kind of, like, side-eyes.
Competition.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, my God, they were good.
You can never tell who they're going to go for, I don't think. I think it's always... You know,
it changes though, because it changes from day to day. Because obviously, if you're good one day but bad the next, then
yeah, and choice of song
exactly.
is so important.
Exactly.
And the style of song as well, because one of the things that was always good with you, no matter what they threw at you in the competition, you just nailed it every single time.
It was hard. It's hard though, because obviously you've got to fit that every week. And if you're like some kind of jazz singer, and they're like, okay, we're going to do disco week.
Yeah,
you know,
which is tough. If
you're in trouble.
And I've just Italian. Sorry, Simon.
Just a good handful of spinach on there, Joe, and then just big flakes of this. All you need to do with the fish is simply just peel it off the skin like that and just dollop it on.
Okay.
So when you were doing Opera Star, you had to learn Italian. So can you give me just a couple of Italian lines?
I don't even know any.
Oh, don't say that, Joe. I was expecting a nice romantic line.
I can't. I don't know any of that. I only know them in the words of the songs. I'm not fluent enough yet.
I'm not fussy. I'll take
Well, what can I
anything.
say? I can't even think of something to say.
Oh, let me down. I was expecting a nice...
I was.
Come on, Simon, you must know.
I was. You've let us all down, Joe.
I'm sorry, I'm just concentrating on this fish because it's getting a bit messy.
That's all right. Well, the good thing about this is it doesn't matter if it gets messy. That's the joy of it, because basically this is all going to get baked. So just dollop all of that on top.
So just chuck it all in?
Yeah, mate, yeah, just kind of... It doesn't matter how big the pieces are. And in fact, the bigger the better in many respects, because as it bakes, what you want is, from an eating point of view, you want a nice big chunk of fish rather than little flakes of it.
This is why I wouldn't eat my cooking. Look at the way...
I hope you wash your hands.
It's all about confidence, Joe. OK, so... Whoa, maybe not stabbing yourself. OK, so once all that's gone in, all we do then is we dollop all of this lovely cheese sauce. And you can see what I said about going gloopy because we've rushed it. It's still a little bit gloopy. What you want is it wants to be a little bit looser than that.
So the
if it is really thick...
just cook in there?
Yeah, just cook in there. What you can do, if it is too thick like that, you can simply add a little bit more cream or milk to it and let it down. Now, the final part, Joe, it's nearly over.
OK.
This audition is nearly over. Tarragon, butter, parmesan, breadcrumbs and hazelnuts. Rub those together.
OK.
So imagine that you're making a crumble top, which is fundamentally what we're doing, OK? So this then gives us lots of delicious flavour on the top of there. And it doesn't matter if all of the butter doesn't melt when you're doing this, you know? It's just really about getting it together, because the butter will melt in the oven. Now, Joe, just simply sprinkle that on the top.
Here.
I think that's nice when you get a crispy top on something like this, because it's a whole meal in one, isn't it?
Yeah.
How much do you want on here?
However much you feel is appropriate, Joe.
OK.
Maybe
it's a bit more.
You can use your creative decision.
Quickly, while you're doing that, Hannah says, which classic song is the hardest to sing?
Probably Nessun Dorma.
Nessun Dorma,
yeah,
of course.
It's really hard, and the timing's really funny as well. So you've got to really concentrate.
Yeah.
And it was the one. I had panic attacks about.
Sleepless nights.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure.
OK, so that then goes in the oven. We bake that for about 20 minutes or so, and this is what you get. And the joy of it is we've got the nuts in there, we've got the Parmesan cheese in there, so you've got really, really delicious smells, plus, of course, this lovely flavour. And whilst it hasn't taken very long at all, and
so how long would that go in for?
It's about 15, 20 minutes, Lou.
Wow, it's quick,
so you're really looking at a dead simple dish that will feed a big fat family as well, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, big fat as in number rather than big fat family, I should say.
Okay.
And there we go. Big slab of that, and we're done.
As Simon finishes up here, we're going to go over to Tim.
Yeah, thanks, Louise. We can reveal the year of this week's Deja Vu when Bill Clinton made the headlines for all the wrong reasons. And the Manics were number one with this track here. The year was 1998. Oh. So we sort of got it right. Just talking, they were talking about the X Factor there, Sophie. Mark tweets to you, said, would Sophie consider being a judge on talent shows such as the X Factor? I think it looks a great job. Would you do it?
I'm very good at it on my sofa at home. I'm sure it'd be equally as fantastic on the television, yes.
Do you watch it? Yeah?
Yeah, we do, actually, yeah.
What do you think of any judges?
I think they're doing a good job. I quite like the fact that the girls get on. I think that's actually really nice to see. It's really good chemistry, isn't it?
Having a banter with each other and laughing over guys and that. I think that's quite nice to watch.
Yeah, I think so too.
OK. I don't know whether you asked this in cooking, so I might repeat myself, but Amy says, do you keep in touch with the X Factor contestants?
Yeah, I'm good friends with Ollie, Stacey, Jedward now and again. They're quite hard to keep in contact with, but...
Tell us about... Tell us about Jedward. Do they have one mobile phone between the two of them?
Yeah, they actually do.
Really?
Yeah, they actually have one mobile, and they're like... you would get... They don't actually have my number now, because you just used to get random phone calls, and they just wouldn't say anything. It was like pranks constantly. They're quite, yeah.
I bet that never got old.
Well, yeah, you were like, hello.
I haven't watched Big Brother, but yeah, you two, are you gigging at all? The feeling?
We are.
Yeah, we've got a tour September and October. Yeah.
September, October. And what else are you playing? Any of the festivals in the summer?
We've got one left. We're playing at Harvest, Alex James's farm, which is great because it's food as well.
Tons of
food.
He's got his new cheeses out, hasn't he? As
Yes,
well?
there's lots of chefs giving master classes and then music in the evening. We're playing with the Kooks and Katie Tunstall. Should be good.
Yeah.
Will there be cheese everywhere? Because that's what
Lots
he does,
of
isn't he?
cheese.
Cheese. I like that.
Lots of cheese, yeah.
Cheese. So when's that? How long away are we?
That is...
That's this weekend, isn't it?
No.
Oh, yeah, no.
Kieran's getting married next week.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my keyboard player's getting married.
We've all got to go to Kieran's wedding first. Okay. All right, that's it. It's nearly 11:30, and we are almost done. Huge thanks to our guest, Sophie and the Fiend, of course, Joe. Good luck with all your projects, everyone. Join us next Sunday with our guest, Adrian Edmondson, and the UK's top girl group, The Saturdays. They're on the show. This was Something for the Weekend. Enjoy your Sunday, especially at the Carnival. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.